So welcome guys again. This is the part 2 of my journey of my Inspire and Give Hope journey by Jane Dongo. So welcome guys for the continuation of part 2. So I remember every time my dad could come to Nairobi, he would come to see me in the hospital, and then he'll end up going to the police station where the car was. And I remember police mwenye alinisave that night, I believe now he has already retired. He was an elderly man. And I remember during 1 o'clock visiting hours, he would come to the hospital and tell me, Wamboi, nime-sacrifice kwenda lunch nikuje nikuone because I've never saved someone from an accident like yours and they survived. Wewe ni wa Mungu. And he'll tell me, do you know babako akikuja kila siku kukuona hospitali lazima akuje Muthangari. And he always says that saizi tungekuwa kwa komiti ya matanga, because hata babako anasemaga hakuna mtu anafaa kuwa alibaki uhai kwa hiyo accident. It was that terrible. Even the police himself could come and tell me, wewe ni wa Mungu. Every time he'll come to the ward and tell me, wewe ni wa Mungu. He'll come and bring me kamaziwa, juice, and sometimes just to say thank you. He'll tell me that whenever he comes to the ward to see me, ati anaonaga tu miracle, ati anaonaga tu kweli yenye Mungu yuko. I used to inspire him. Whenever he'll come to see me, I used to inspire him, and he used to believe that God is still there. Na alikuwa anajua kweli, if God you saved this girl from that accident, kweli yenye Mungu yuko. Because he told me that in a very long time, that's the worst form of accident he has ever saved people. And someone who has been hurt survived. So I was in Kenyatta for 3 months. And I remember the first 2 weeks, I could not pee and I could not go for a short call or a long call due to the extent of my injury. As I told you that I had 5 pelvis fractures. And after I got the accident, ni kama zilienda zikafunga njia zote. Njia choo ya nini zote zilienda zikafungana. So that is the reason I could not go to I could not use my bowels. So I remember also I used to be injected like 5 times a day. I think 4 or 5. Na kadawa kingine kalikuwa very painful, and was made to understand ya kuzuia blood clot because I had a very bad internal bleeding. Ati ndio walikuwa naogopa inaweza nimaliza. I had a very bad internal bleeding because I was not injured on the outside. My injuries were on the inside. And then I was so much hit on my left side this year that has affected me somehow along my life. I can point out. And now for the first 2 weeks, the doctors made it very clear that akitoboa wiki mbili huyu akufi. Yani like we have given her 2 weeks to survive. I could hear them speaking, and I remember they could also mention somehow to my relatives, pole, that we have given her 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, if there's no change, I don't know what you are going to do, because now the toxins were retaining in the body because I could not use my bowels, I could not do anything. I was in a lot of pain. I was crying day and night because now my stomach ilikuwa imejaa uchafu mob, everything. Yani like every part of my body was in pain and I could not do anything. So the doctors gave me at most 2 weeks. And I got to know of the news because I overheard. And I remember for those 2 weeks, I used to pray. I think that was the first time I saw myself dying. And I knew for sure this time I've lost it. I remember making a prayer every night, every day to God that, God, let me not wake up in the morning. Nichukue tu. That was my prayer for the first 2 weeks. I used to pray that, God, let me die. Let me just die. Let me not live to see another day with all this pain. And whenever I could now wake up in the morning, I will really cry, and people will ask me, why are you crying? Naambia hapana, mimi sikuwa nataka kuamka. Wananiuliza kwa nini? I just wanted to die. Nilikuwa nataka nisiamke nikufe tu. So that was my prayer every day. And I remember many other nights I had sleepless nights. Hakuna kulala. And there's one thing I remember we used to do in that ward with the other ladies. that whenever you are in pain, we would wake each other up and start praying. We had that faith that whenever we pray when someone is in pain or when you are in pain, we would pray until you will say, Kai, imagine uchungu imeisha. Yani we had that much faith in us that all will work out for the best. So I remember the first 2 weeks I used to pray that I die. And there is this one situation that changed everything, changed my prayer, and changed my thoughts. I had given up with life. I had given up with everything. The pain was too much to bear. And then I had that, kwa hiyo ward in the whole world nilikuwa nimezungukwa na tu vitambaa tunakuwa tumezungushio mgonjwa. I think mwenye anataka so much attention. And every time the doctors walikuwa naingia hapo ndani, even my roommates were like, nini inaendelea kwa Ambo? So everyone could see that all was not well with me, and some even could not tell my face because walikuwa wanachunguliaga tu kidogo, alafu unafukati inafunguliwa kidogo, wananiona kidogo, and then inafungwa. And then nilikuwa nimefura all over. I could not even tell who I am myself. Singejijua. So I remember there is one instant that changed my life to date. And that thing changed me, changed my beliefs, changed my feelings, changed my thoughts, and changed, like I started healing from here. I remember it was 10th of June. In my room where I was facing the TV directly, and I could see the TV from up a distance, and I could also hear the voice from the TV. So the news that came in that day is that Saitoti has had an air crash. And what stood out for me that day, like ile kitu yenye ilini capture in my mind, is that their aeroplane had been checked. The pilot was to fly them that day. As in walikuwa mesatisfy, everything was okay. Pesa zimewazunguka. Security men were there. The security personnel, everything was in place. Like everything, before they took off, everything was safeguarded, that nothing will happen to them. And I remembered that we were in a very old car. Gari ilikuwa mzee. Na Mungu alituokoa. Now for these people, they had all the security personnel. Mimi sikuwa na security. I just had God. Na nilisurvive. We didn't have all that money surrounding us like the Saitoti. But nilikuja kuona kweli uhai ni Mungu hupeana. Uponyaji ni Mungu hupeana. Na Mungu huokoa ule mwenye ataokoa. As in like, I knew that our lives are in his hands. I knew that every breath we take, it's all about God. I asked myself, mimi nilikuwa kwa gari mzee. Mimi niliokolewa na watu wa taxi, hata siwezi kuambia. To date, I can't tell you who saved me that night from that accident, because I was pulled by many people. Nikapeleka hospitali na mataxi, hata sikujua ni nani. And that death of Saitoti, as much as it was so painful to us even to date, because personally, mimi nilipenda Saitoti. So, that death of Saitoti and Ojode changed my thinking like immediately. And immediately nikaanza kuona how ungrateful I've been to God, how judgmental nimekuwa, na how unfair I've been to God and also to myself. And immediately my prayer changed. That is 10 days later after my accident. Remember, I'm still getting the injection for blood clot because of the internal bleeding. Remember that I've not been able to use my bowels. I was still in so much pain, but my prayer changed. And I started telling God that, God, I'm so sorry for the prayer that I've been making. Please, God, have mercy on me and save me. Save me from all this pain. Save me from all this trouble. And God, save me from this place where I am. And if you save me, oh God, I'll never drink again. I made so many promises to God. And I remember immediately, like 2 days later, I'll never forget another miracle that happened that time. My mom was at home. with our church members and our reverend then. And my mom had told them about the challenges that I'm having in the hospital. I was not able to use my bowels. And things as they were not so good on my end. And I remember they were praying. They were praying for a breakthrough. It was around 5 in the evening. Ilikuwa fellowship ya jioni za nyumbani. And I remember as they were praying, because my mama had told me that leo kuna maombi wanakuja kukuombea. And I was in Kenyatta, my mom was at home. And as they were praying, I remember mi wa approximate naona hiyo time yenye mama alinipigia na yenye mi nilianza kusaidika, I could tell that somehow they were in prayers. I remember I felt like pushing. Niende tu choo. I felt like pushing. And remember, by the way, guys, this time I've already been able to get so many bed sores or pressure sores on my back because I was constantly on one position sleeping. First, I was put on skeletal traction, and then they saw that the skeletal traction was not helping. And now they inaitwaje hii ya kufunga na blood like bandage. I was put on that one, and then now they had to put the skeletal. The skeletal is the one that now you are drilled on your knees, and then wanaweka mawe kule chini na kuvuruta. So that is what they were able to do to me. That is the only treatment I could get. And I remember, guys, as my mom were in the middle of prayers, I felt like pushing. And I really pushed until nika sweat because it was very painful. And I managed to go for my long call. I managed to push, and I went for a long call. A long call that left everyone in the room knowing that nimeenda, because I screamed because of pain, and then the smell that came with it, because it was a mixture of alcohol, it was a mixture ya wiki mbili of blood, because of the blood clot. It was a mixture of so many things, whereby even the doctors had tried to kunieka dawa huku nyuma isaidie. Nothing was working. So after I managed to push, even if it was this small ijoikuwa mob, I called my mom, and my mom, in the middle of the prayer, she took the phone. That's why I'm saying that I could approximate, because she told me Wambui tuko kwa maombi. But she managed to pick my call because she saw it was me calling, and she wondered what has happened. She panicked actually. And I told her, Mom, nimeenda choo. And I remember my mom saying, Amen, 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 God, thank you. And before she cut the phone, I think everyone else in the room stopped praying, and they wondered what was up with my mom. And my mom told them, I was still hearing, because I think she forgot to end the call. My mom told them that Wambui ameenda choo. Finally, Wambui amesaidika. And they had so many hallelujahs from the other end. And now they started praying Thanksgiving prayer. And from there on, after I was able to go for the long call, the doctor also came because of the scream. I really screamed, by the way. So the doctor came wondering what has happened in our room. I know when the doctor came, I told the doctor what has happened. And she asked me, I remember it was a nurse. I told her that I've managed, but it was very painful. Now she understood why I was screaming. And then she called the big doctor, wanasema daktari mkubwa. She called the doctor, and the doctor said now she will leave. Now that is when now the curtains ziliondolewa kwa my bed. And the doctor akasema kama amemanage kwenda haja, now she will leave. Yani, our fears now zimeondoka, because that is what we are fearing, that if she will not be able to remove the waste products in her body, we might lose her because of the toxins damaging other organs in the body. And now the doctor confirmed that, yes, I have a chance to live. So guys, that's how I had my accident, due to alcohol. I was not able to follow my instincts. And I was in Kenyatta for the next 3 months. And I remember I had so many bed sores on my back because of sitting on one position. I could not turn, I could not be turned. It was very hectic. I could go to the toilet, nilikuwa natumia naenda haja tu kwa kitanda, yani like bed became my sitting room, my bedroom, my washroom, my everything. That bed became my everything. And one thing that my sister was doing to me that was very, very therapeutic, and I still remember that thing, and I could really smile. I was really happy. Like every Sunday, she'll come to my room, to the hospital, and she could come and do a makeup on my face. Ananifanya makeup supu sana, and then she'll put ananivalisha high heels, like akisiz, unajua high heels sijui kama utaivaa tena, so every Sunday itakuwa siku yako ya kupiga luku. So she'll put high heels on me nikiwa tu kwa kitanda. She'll do me a very nice makeup. Hata Manaso alikuwa anakuja, hey, leo umekuwa smart. Yani like that thing was very therapeutic for me, because every Sunday I knew it is my day to look good, because my sister used to come and do makeup on me, dress me nicely that day. I was not even on hospital uniform, navalishwa high heels nikiwa tu kwa kitanda, na hiyo siku anafunikwa na blanketi. I was just there, just sleeping, just smart as I was. And then everyone who will come to look at to check on their patients, walikuwa wanakuja tu wananiangalia tu, wanasmile, wananiadmire. So that one was really therapeutic for me. So many people stood with me during that difficult time. So many people that I can't even mention them here, but in my heart, I'm forever grateful. I was able to finish the term that I was there in Kenyatta as I was getting treatment. Now, by the way, treatment got easier as time went by. The pain zikaanza kupungua, and the treatment got easier for me, and I was able now to manage everything. Pole pains zikaenda zikapungua, and I was able to start sleeping. Now came the day when I was removed from the skeletal traction, wakati hizo mawe zilikuwa zinatolewa. And I remember I could not walk immediately. I was put on wheelchair. Now that's another part that broke me into pieces. I was put on wheelchair. That is what I was using for the time being. I used a wheelchair for about a week or two. And then now that is when I was trained on how to use the walking frame, pole. And then now crutches. And I was ready now to go home. I was discharged. And I went home. I followed my clinics religiously. I followed what the doctor said religiously. And my healing progress was very smooth. I remember I got the support from my family, my dad, my mom, my siblings. I got support from everywhere. And I healed so well. My dad always ensured that I never missed a single clinic. I used to travel all the way from Nakuru to Nairobi, and I used to attend each and every clinic. Dawa zote zinatakikana, my dad used to provide. And it took me almost 2 years to get well. I remember I used even my crutches up to 2013. And I went back to work. By the way, guys, I had worked only for 2 months. And by the time I was leaving the hospital, I can come back to Nairobi, though in crutches but I can still work kidogo. I remember I was very skeptical that, will they take me back? How will my work be? And I remember when I went back, my bosses sat down and they agreed that now, I don't think it's fair for us to fire Jane because of an illness or because of the accident. What we can do, you can accommodate her back. I was on that time was a marketer. I was a salesperson, but now here I'm coming as an office person. They accommodated me back. I was given an office job that was not so tedious for me. I was allowed to be reaching at work around 9:30 to 10 because they were giving me enough time to collect myself in the morning. And in the evening, I was allowed to leave around at 4:30. I could leave an hour earlier than the others. They understood me. They supported me. Thank you so much. because they stood by me na wakanipea job, wakanirudisha, and they really supported my healing process, and it became so smooth for me. So guys, don't lose hope. Hata kama ulikuwa unatoka job, ama if your job is somehow shaky, whether they are going to accept me back, remember there is a God who works behind the scenes. Remember there is a God who works when we are sleeping. Remember there is a God who has better plans for us. Plans that we don't know about. Plans that we have never dreamt about. And plans that we can never imagine. So don't give up. Don't worry about that work when you're in the hospital, when you're recuperating. Don't worry about what will happen to my children or what will happen to this. No. Leave everything to God. Leave all that to God. I'm forever grateful. I'm forever thankful. And guys, there is life after a challenge. There is life after a trial. There is life after tribulation. Because God is in it. Because God knows it all. Remember that God knew us before we were conceived in our mother's wombs. He knew us way before. Where else as we hata tukujua tutazaliwa wapi. So God has better plans for us. He has better plans for each and every one of us. So that was my journey. That is how my alcoholism started. And that is where my alcoholism led me to. I will say per se that it was alcoholism, but if that night I listened to my instincts, na nikaingia kwa nyumba na nikaingia funga mlango na nikalala, I think my story would be different. If only I could not have indulged myself into careless alcohol, like ati ukisikia leo tunaenda kukunywa wapi uko ndani, ukisikia leo tunasafiri mpaka Namanga, ukisikia leo sijui tunaenda wapi. Yani like I was that kind of a person, a party animal. Like even if you tell me today that amuka tunaenda wapi, nitaulizie hiyo wapi tukiwa kwa gari, because all I was thinking about is all partying, alcohol and all that. But here we are. God saved me from everything, and I'm forever grateful to God because my life is not the way it used to be. So if you are out there, you are really struggling with alcoholism, you are really struggling with a challenge, kindly on my description, feel free to talk to me, and I'll give you a platform just to inspire someone and to give someone hope. Just to inspire and give someone hope. If you're there struggling with alcoholism, if you're there and you have been able to overcome alcoholism and you will really love to share your story, please don't keep quiet with it. Just inspire someone out there and give them hope. Tell them it's doable, it's workable. They should not give up. Even your relatives, they should not give up on you. Let's continue supporting each other. Let's continue being there for each other as family, as friends. Thank you so much, guys. I have so much in store for you. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly hit that subscribe button, because the next story, it's about what has happened after my accident, after leaving the hospital, and after recuperating. So many things have happened since then, and I really feel that I also need to share also that one with you. Even that one, I feel that I need to share with you, just to inspire and give you hope. So guys, keep it locked. Till next time, make sure you don't miss out my next video, because it's now going to be hotter than this one. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.